But anyway, on a lighter topic, Brian, you've heard we used to not only give out memos, but have you heard about the quizzes I used to give out sometimes in OVW?
I think so, yes.
And I had to, this was one I gave to, oh, well, hold on. Who are the names? Because everybody's got their name on it. So let me see if I can identify anybody. This was Slick Robbie D. What was that? The year 2000. Rico 2000, 2001. Well, maybe BJ Payne. He would have been that. The early 2000s. I gave everybody 25 guys at the time a wrestling quiz. Well, not even a wrestling quiz, just a quiz for a special project. I said, this data is for something I'm compiling for OVW. So fill this out tonight. Because there was no Google back then, right? Nobody's going to fucking look this up on their cell phones. So I said, I don't want you to take it home and look the shit up, do it in the locker room tonight. It's 10 questions. Brian, see how you can do, because I was grading them 1 point for each. 10's a perfect score. And I said at the bottom, please don't one smartass, Jason Lee, go around copying everybody's shit. I want this to be a shoot. And Rip doesn't count because we know he's going to get a perfect 10. So anyway, would you like to take this, Brian?
Yeah, sure.
Number 1. Who invented basketball?
Naismith.
You are correct. Out of 25 tests, 14 got it right. Who is Lou Thez and why is he famous?
Lou Thez, sometimes called Lajos Tiza, sometimes called Aloysius Louis Thez. Lots of different names. He was just a kid fooling around in St. Louis in the 30s.
Had a dream. I was going to accept. I was going to accept a world champion, greatest of all time, any just vague thing like that, right?
You remember seeing that? His real name is Lajos Tiza, and then it's like his real name is Aloysius Louis Thez. Like, wait, one of these is wrong. So I don't know.
Well, but it's a translation out of the original Mugwump. I don't know. Let's continue here.
Yes, please.
9 of them.
Wow.
9 of them had an answer I would consider acceptable to fill in both of those main topics. But of course, Rip filled in youngest and oldest NWA champion of all time, 6-time NWA champion, last match at age 70, blah, blah, blah. Thez press name. It went into detail, right? But 9. Okay. What team, Brian, did Babe Ruth play for?
We played for several teams, most famously the New York Yankees.
Well, and I accepted that answer. And of course, Rip again, original Boston, traded to Yankees, finished career with Boston. 24 out of the 25 got that.
Wow. Isn't that interesting?
Number 4.
You see, that goes to the argument that he's the most famous athlete of all time and the most easily identifiable athlete of all time to a lot of people. It may not be that way now. I mean, this is 25 years ago or whatever. But that's pretty interesting.
Following up, number 4. Who is Toots Mondt and what did he do?
He was a wrestler, a stretcher, a hooker, whatever you want to say, and eventually he was the partner of Vince McMahon Sr. in the Capitol Wrestling office. And I think that went
the
early 70s. He had his problems with various people over the years.
Guess how many correct answers I got?
Oh, if you got 9 for Lou Thez, you got 4, I'll say.
1. Rip Rogers.
Wait, why is Rip taking the test? He's not talent.
He was in the locker room. He might have been on the card. This was early.
Okay.
So he might have still been working at the time, but everybody in the particular locker room that night got to take the test.
Did he write Gold Dust Trio?
Well, yeah. I mean, his writing is horrible, but it's all there. Number 5, what college football team did O.J. Simpson play for?
Syracuse.
Well, I don't think that's correct. I think it was USC.
Oh, USC. Fuck. I'm actually, yeah, that's exactly right. I'm thinking of.
But the point is, hold on, let me wait a minute. Let me ask Rip. Yep, USC. But 13 of them do that. Number 6, who trained Ric Flair and in what territory did he begin his career?
Vern Gagne, AWA.
You are correct, and 4 people knew that. Number 7.
That's crazy.
Name the man who won the first Ali Frazier fight in Madison Square Garden in 1971.
Frazier.
You are correct, sir. 9 people knew that.
It was only the fight of the century.
Name the man who defeated Bruno Sammartino for the WWF title in Madison Square Garden in 1971.
Ivan Koloff.
3. 3.
Now, when you're giving this test, this is still mostly local OVW guys, not WWE trainees?
No, hold on. I'll give you the list of names here in a second as I go through it. I just didn't want to get clustered up in the details. But 2 more questions. Number 9, what do Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, and Muhammad Ali have in common?
World heavyweight champions who participated in wrestling.
Well, I didn't even want it that narrow. I would have taken world heavyweight boxing champions.
But all 3 were actively I mean, Dempsey was really involved for a while if you really go look at it.
I didn't say Dempsey.
Who'd you say? You said Joe Louis.
Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, and Muhammad Ali, but they still Marciano refereed fucking
Memphis.
Sputnik and Billy Wicks in Memphis.
Right, 59.
Joe Louis wrestled and refereed. Ali, we had a little tiff with Inoki we heard about. But 13 people knew that they were world heavyweight boxing champions. Last question. What do Whipper, Billy Watson, Pat O'Connor, and Gene Kiniski have in common?
Oh, I was going to say Canadian world heavyweight champions, but Pat O'Connor's not from Canada.
No, Whipper, Billy Watson, Pat O'Connor, Gene Kiniski.
International NWA champions.
Yeah, well, actually NWA champions, because remember Watson.
From outside the States. They were all born outside the States is what I meant.
I was just going for, here's the thing. The NWA champions at the same time as the previous boxers that they knew were boxing champions. These were the wrestling champions, right?
Yeah.
2 people knew that. This is a locker room of wrestlers. And again, Rip got 100%, and I told him not to fucking tell anybody. But I was able to then call them all together the next week and say, you blithering dipshits, you realize that you have just told me that you know more about basketball and football and boxing and baseball than you do the business that you are trying to make money and have a professional career in. Does that make you ashamed and feel like idiots? And does that make you want to learn more about who has done this and why you should emulate or not emulate the shit that they did? And then they were like, yeah.
Did anyone pull a Sputnik Monroe and say, like, I'm not ashamed to be an idiot?
Well, no, unfortunately, nobody had that much personality. But that's when I started giving them all the shit to read, the reading material. Hold on, I'll tell you. The names here. Let me sit up straight. My back hurts. I'm carrying all these guys for all these years. Rip Rogers, obviously. Nick Dinsmore got a 4.5 because he was trying to be so brief that he didn't goddamn give me the other half of the question, or elsewise he got the wrong. Who trained Ric Flair in what territory did he begin his career? Bruiser in Minneapolis. I only gave him a half.
That's a half point, yeah. Minneapolis.
Flash. I got no mind. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So how did I grade this?
Formerly Flash Flanagan, for those listening.
Flash Flanagan. No, I'm sorry. I tell a lie. I circled the one, so it's -4.5. So he got a 5.5. It's -4.5. I'm sorry, this is the key going forward. Flash, -3.5. That means he scored a 6.5. Jason Lee got a 6.5. Shelton Benjamin, and Shelton, I love you if you hear this. God damn it. It wasn't his sport, but Shelton Benjamin didn't know who invented basketball. He knew that Lou Thez was an old school wrestler. I wrote too loose and deducted a half a point. He knew what team Babe Ruth played for. He did not know Toots Mondt. He didn't know OJ's college football team. Well, I guess OJ played college ball in the 60s, right? This was 2000. Shelton wasn't alive. He didn't know who trained Flair. He thought Ali won the first Ali Frazier fight in the Garden. He didn't know who beat Bruno. Joe Louis, Marciano, and Muhammad Ali, he knew they were all boxers. I took off a half point for just being so loose that you could at least have thrown in the heavyweight champions. And he didn't know who Watson, O'Connor, or Kaniski were. But now, as a grown adult man who went through the program, he knows all these important things.
You know, Lou Thez is one thing. Did you expect anyone to know Toots Mondt, or was that just to set an example?
You know, at that point, I had already passed out copies of the manuscript to, if not the Fall Guys, to Thez's book. But, you know, at the same time, people were coming and going, so you have to reinforce things. And sometimes people didn't read shit. But anyway, other names on here, Chris Alexander, who, he thought that OJ played for the Jets in college.
He never played for the Jets in the pros.
They thought that Ali won the fight. He thought the Iron Sheik defeated Bruno. Thought Louis, Marciano, and Muhammad Ali were all boxers from Louisville.
Famous Louisville resident Joe Louis.
Jebediah Blackhawk. And he was the guy who, as I've mentioned before, was not arrested for drinking and driving, but he drank and then he drove. What do Whipper, Billy Watson, Pat O'Connor, and Gene Kaniski have in common? They all have first and last names. Yeah, he got a.
How many did you deduct for that?
He got a 3 out of there. Trailer Park Trash got a 2.5. Our old referee Robert Briscoe got a. Good Lord, got a 3. Slick Robbie D, he got a 3. One of our referees, I can't remember what his name was. We called him Fudd. He got a 3.5. What now?
Other than Rip, who was kind of more of a contemporary of yours, even though he may have actively been wrestling on this card, would you have done anything or said anything or pulled anyone aside if one of these guys did get 20 of 20 or 10 of 10, whatever it is? 10 of 10, I guess.
Oh, yeah, no, I would have recognized him publicly, but it wasn't fair. But Rip is a goddamn savant. It's not just wrestling. He can tell you the lineup of the goddamn Toledo Mud Hens from 1942 and how many bats they used. He's some type of, I think he's on some type of savantish spectrum for sports. It's ridiculous. Who was this? I don't remember which. Was this the kid we had? Randy Royal, possibly. He got a 4. Derek King, he got a 3.5.
Where's Brock?
Scotty Saber, he got a 4.
Where's Brock?
I'm still going through, but I don't know if he was here yet. BJ Payne, he got a 4. Russ McCullough actually got a 4.5. Mr. Black got a 4.5. Rico Constantino He got a 4.5, unfortunately. But he knew the wrestling stuff. He just didn't know. Except he thought Ali won the fight. He didn't know who beat Bruno. But anyway, and he didn't know who invented basketball. The Damager. He got a fucking 6. Conway got a 6. Bull Buchanan got a 6.
This is exciting stuff.
Oh, Sylvester Turkai. Well, they're all pretty much yeah. There you go. That was all the names. It was early on in the program.
Yeah,
that's what it was. But yes, that they didn't understand until you put it in that perspective. What they didn't know about the goddamn business that they were trying to make a living in, instead of they knew more about shit that they were never going to participate in a million fucking years. So smarten up, study, learn, read, study, learn. See, I'm not as obnoxious about it as some people, though.
It's sad that you have to say that. I'm sorry that you don't want to learn. I learn. I'm doing AI Meltzer, just taking everything.
You can learn too.
You can learn too. He didn't learn how to autosave, but he learned everything else.